on, guys? We back again. You already know who it is. This is your boy Beezus.
And this is Jeremy.
And we are here to talk sports, of course.
Yes, today we're going to be talking a lot of sports. I'm gonna start off
Okay.
right out with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Great game yesterday.
Good game, man. You want to talk about some defense?
Yeah, absolutely.
I like good defense, man.
Giannis, he looks like 2019 Giannis. He looks like he has something to prove, and I'm loving his energy. He's playing both sides of the ball, and that's, to me, what basketball should be about. You shouldn't be able to just have one bag of offense and no defense at all.
James Harden?
Well, I didn't want to say it, but...
I mean, James Harden on offense, phenomenal.
Great player.
Can't play defense later.
Man-adore defense. Ole! Oh, you can go by me, bro. It's cool. I don't, it's
I don't
whatever.
do that.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I occasionally try to get a little strip from behind or
If
whatever.
you're close and I can stick my hand in there, that's it.
Which is a shame because he's an
Yes.
athlete. But both defense. I mean, Thunder have been playing great defense all season.
Oh yeah, facts.
But they only scored 81 points. You ain't gonna win many games scoring 81 points.
Not in today's basketball.
That's 1990s games back then.
Right, exactly.
So, but yeah, no, 95 to 81 or 96 to 81. I felt like I was watching a 90s game all over again.
Heavy defense, and I love that Dame actually won. He's got some type of trophy. Dame is one of those players that I want to see succeed. He's a phenomenal basketball player. I think he's still very underrated. He could shoot the ball. He could drive. He could pass. He could play defense. The man looks like he never tires. He's just one of those guys that he just comes in. He does what he has to do. He takes care of his business, and he's out of there. And I love that.
Well, he got some kind of pay for it. Did you see he got the first ever Adidas lifetime shoe deal?
Hey, I know he's smiling from ear to ear right now.
Only 4 players have ever gotten a lifetime deal. That's LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, and now Damian Lillard.
Dame Lillard. Congratulations, Dame. You deserve it. Like I said, I think he's one of the premier guards in the league. He's been that way, for a long time. You don't get Dame time for a reason because he could take a game over.
He's went over, now they say with his contract stuff, he'll be over $600 million. Between his shoe deal and his NBA contract,
Lord have
$600 million.
Just to play a game that I pay for.
We pay a membership to go play.
To go play.
Yeah.
And these guys are out here just caking, guaranteed money and everything. Man.
$600 million is what they say his lifetime is. And that doesn't even touch, the other 3 guys named Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and Steph Curry. I think Steph Curry got $500 million just from Under Armour.
Well, Under Armour is Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Steph Curry is Under Armour.
They were known for making cold gear.
Yeah, exactly.
Before Steph Curry, and then next thing you know, they got basketball shoes, basketball gear.
And Nike really dropped the ball because all he wanted to do was be able to put some religious stuff on his shoes. And I think that was the discrepancy with Nike. They wanted to kind of mold what he wanted on his shoe, which is wild. This is Steph Curry.
They also didn't even send like a head exec to go talk to him,
which is crazy. This is Steph Curry.
Yeah, like it's Steph Curry. Like they talk about that a little bit. If you ever watch the TV show Underrated, I want to say it's on Apple TV. If you guys get Apple TV, it's a good watch.
Yeah.
It talks about him going through Davidson and coming out of college, how he didn't get hardly any. Like the NBA scout said, he wasn't going to make it. He was a good shooter that took bad shots, and maybe they're bad shots for the rest of the guys out there.
Who came up with that scouting report? I want to bring that guy forward. We want to talk to you, bro.
He's right there in that lineup with the guy that cut Michael Jordan.
Yeah, exactly. Golly, what were you talking about? When you talk about being wrong, woo!
There's a lot of multi-millionaires that were told they couldn't. Juan Soto was told he was going to be too slow.
Right.
He didn't have a good enough arm, and his bat didn't have enough power when he was 16 years old. By 19 years old, he was in Major League Baseball.
Right.
And now he just signed a $765 million
it goes to show you, sometimes these people don't know what they're talking about. Get a second opinion, kids. Just because one person tells you can't do it, or 2 or 3, somebody may believe that you can.
Yeah.
Especially when you show that you can.
Someone's going to figure it out for you.
That's a fact.
The other thing I wanted to touch on, there's been a lot of controversy with this. The Heisman Trophy.
Okay.
Travis Hunter wins the Heisman Trophy. A lot of people out there really upset. I think the hate's more towards Deion Sanders, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
I feel like a young man is taking a lot of hate, a very talented young man, because of his coach. And I don't know why. I mean, Deion Sanders we've all known, he has a loud personality. He's very loud, but he's out here helping these kids.
Right.
You know, he became a head coach at Jackson State. They're like, oh, he has no experience. He has no reason. He doesn't deserve to be there. Then he does nothing but win games.
Right.
He goes 13-1. I think three times, and then he goes to Colorado, who is 1-11 the year before he got there.
What did he do after that?
They won. They went up 3 games last year. Went up to 4 wins, and this year they're 9-3.
Right.
They're going to a big bowl game. They're ranked 20th. You know, just missed getting into the playoff with the one loss towards the end of the season. Now he has a player that's won the Heisman Trophy. His son / starting quarterback is expected to be the number 1 quarterback taking the draft, if not being the top overall pick in the draft.
Come on.
And we're hating on the man. Like we're trying to find reasons. Oh well, they didn't play anyone. Well, they played somebody because they beat them. They beat 9 teams. So and those 9 teams didn't all go 0-12.
Right.
So they had to be. I hate that argument. They didn't play anyone. Well, I get that. Yes, someone like Alabama is going to play a crap ton of really good teams.
Yeah, get it.
But they didn't play a whole season of nobody. They did something. Travis Hunter was 6th in receiving yards. He was 2nd in receiving touchdowns.
Crazy.
I think he was 3rd in receptions. And then on top of that, he was top 20 in interceptions, and he had the number 1 overall pass metrics when they broke down to, you know, the hardest defender to throw at in college football. He had the top metrics on defense, and he was top 5 in pretty much every category on offense. This dude's playing almost every down.
Every down.
100 and some plays a game.
I mean, I don't even know what you could say about that, but Heisman, that man.
If you know,
Iron Man.
At least don't talk down like he didn't deserve it. Now, nothing against Giante. That dude was amazing this year. And if he would have won, I would have said the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
He deserved it. They both deserved it. They both would have won any other year in the last 6, 7, 8 years.
That's facts.
They just happen to be the same year. Giante comes down maybe as the 2nd or 3rd best rushing season in college football history. You're not going to beat Barry Sanders. Like I said, he's only 158 yards behind Barry Sanders' all-time record, but Barry Sanders did it in 11 games. He's already played 13. He would have to do it in his 14th or 15th game in order to break his records. He's still not going to touch his touchdown record. 37 touchdowns in 11 games.
That's amazing stats.
That's 3.5 touchdowns
a game. Good Lord.
So
sheesh.
That's the kind of stuff. But like I said, why it brings me back to the Oklahoma State coach. You know, if you're gonna come at someone, come at me. Don't come at a kid that's doing everything right.
Exactly.
That's Travis Hunter. Why are y'all going at this kid like he didn't do anything?
It just, to me, it all boils down to people hating. Everybody wants to. It's one of those things where I'm gonna find fault in something, even though it's great. Like, well, he didn't like Superman, for instance. It's like, yeah, Superman's great. He saved the world, but it wasn't fast enough. Yeah. Oh, but my cousin was crushed by that building over there, so it doesn't matter that he saved millions of people. My cousin died, so he should have saved the world faster. There's always going to be somebody that has something to say negative. So only thing you could do as an athlete or as anybody, a coach, is go out and continue to do what you do, because at the end of the day, they can't take a win from you. They can't take these wins from you. They can't take that Heisman from you because you earned it. You earned it. Women lie, men lie, numbers will never lie. Stats will always be true. Always be true. So we're not just coming up with these numbers. He's actually doing these things.
Yeah, he played in Division I football,
right?
Which let's give a little insight to that. That's 1%.
Right.
You know, I think 5%, 4 or 5% get to play in college football. That's 1 out of every about 20 to 25 people that play in high school get a chance to play in college. And then of those that get to go on and play Division I, you're talking 1 in 1,000 total, 1 in 100.
Right.
1 in 100 to 1 in 1,000 get to play. Well, 1 in 100 get to play, and then 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 2,000 get a chance to play. You know, with a top Power 5 conference.
Come on now.
Anybody that's out there has accomplished something.
Absolutely.
But these guys are the best of the best, and you know they're going to call these voters. It was the closest vote in 15 years.
That says something about these players coming out.
It's not like they It's not like they just gave it a landslide. It was unanimous. I mean, there was a lot of people that thought Giannis should have won, and I wouldn't have been against either one of them. Glad I didn't have to vote.
Right, that's tough.
I'm glad no one had to figure out if I did have to vote. I'm glad no one found out about it.
Right, right.
Mean, it's a hard vote.
Yeah.
You know, and before we get on to you know, our NFL and what's to come and everything going on in the NFL, I want to give a shout out to my nieces. They're down in Texas. My brother's daughters. They got to both play together in a high school game this week. They won 3-0.
Very cool.
But it was really cool. I saw the videos on Facebook of them both playing together, you know, running onto the field together and everything. So that's got to be for my brother.
Very cool.
Josh, I know you're excited.
Yes, absolutely.
I know, dude. I can't even imagine, like, you know, they both ran on the field at the same time, playing together on the field. So, you know, both his girls are insane athletes. You know, his oldest daughter is a good soccer player, also a track athlete.
Yeah.
Youngest daughter is ranked in the nation in soccer and stuff at her age. Like, they are phenomenal soccer players, phenomenal athletes. You know, congrats to them. Chloe, Logan, shout out to you. Great job. I'll be keeping watch. Keep going. Keep doing great things.
Awesome. Keep doing great things, kids. We love to see it.
So
love to see it. And that's good parenting too, man. Shout out to Josh and his wife Ashley. Amazing. We love what you're doing, man. I'm so proud of y'all. I've known y'all since I was a teenager, man, and it's great to see the next generation that you guys have raised up to fine young ladies. Amazing, man.
Great grades too. Let me throw that out there.
Exactly.
Phenomenal grades.
Exactly.
Oldest one wants to be a veterinarian, trying to go out. I'm like, hey, bigger aspirations than I had going to school.
I just wanted to make $20 an hour anywhere.
At that time, I was like, hey, what do I got to do?
If we can make $20 an hour, we can live forever, right?
Man,
I can get anything I want.
I'm going to bring up something totally outside of sports, and I know you saw the post because you know I had to comment on it. Someone made a comment like, how are you supposed to live off this $7.25 an hour minimum wage? Number one, Virginia's minimum wage is $12.
Right. Still poor.
But still, you know, it's still poor and everything. But how are you supposed to get there? If an average apartment is $1,600 a month, how are you supposed to... Guys, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you're making minimum wage, living on your own is a luxury.
Right.
It's a luxury. Which means if you have a job making minimum wage, you're not going to be able to live on your own. In any country in the world.
Can't do it.
Like, I don't know where along the lines we thought that we could make minimum wage and get our own apartment and live by ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't been that way in 50, 60 years.
It's TikTok again. It's social media. They see the people they follow. They're in mansions. They're doing this. They're doing that. But it's one of those things where you don't know how they got it. You don't know if this is even their house. They could be renting it. You know, they could just be shooting it, renting. It's not theirs. It's tough. It's super tough out here for kids. We were talking about that today, too. You know, I got a coworker, and he's like, you know, my kid, you know, just he's in the house. He's not going anywhere, and he's in his 20s. And you got to show him a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment is $2,000, $18,000 to $2,000. I couldn't imagine being on my own, 18, 20 years old, trying to find a place for just me, and I only make $12 to $15 an hour. There's no way I can afford that.
And where it comes into another big thing is the reason why they're trying to find one on their own is the way the social dynamic works in the world. Now, me and you. Like, we could have had a line of people that we could have moved in with at any given time.
Anytime.
We had friends everywhere. We went outside and played with friends with teenagers. By the time we got older, you know, we had people we could, you know, move in and be roommates with.
And trust.
I know you did it, you know, and everything like that. You had, you know, but that was the thing. Nowadays, with the social, they're playing on video games, talking to people over headsets. They're finding their friends are all on social media. They don't, like, all these people are getting to a point and they don't have, like, actual physical friends that they've met that they can move in with. Like, they're like, well, I can't move on my own. And my daughter's fighting it right now. Like, and my daughter's a very particular person that she would live. So she wants to buy her own house, which, you know, shout out to you for that. Try to do that, you know, at such a young age. But, you know, it's hard now. Like, they're having a hard time finding someone to move in with at the same time and during a time when you pretty much, unless you've got a phenomenal job coming out of college or coming right out of high school, you're not going to be able to afford something by yourself.
No.
You got to be making probably at least $20 to $25 an hour to live on your own.
And that's a struggle because
that's a struggle. That's if
you
know, that's if you're planning on, you know, you're not going out to eat all the time. You're eating in, but that's the thing. Like, things that are luxuries in this world, we consider to be everyday.
Right.
You know, cable TV. internet, cell phone.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, you need to have a cell phone. You don't need to have a cell phone. But, it's very much, it's you want it. You need it for a lot of, you use it for a lot of things.
Yes.
But, at the end of the day, if it comes down to whether or not you need to eat food and have a roof over your head,
we're going to pick those over a cell phone.
Over a cell phone. And cell phone is one of the things that ranks right up there behind where you almost need is a necessity. But your cell phone shows you everything. If you have everything's an unlimited plan, it seems like now. You don't need to have internet in your house if you have a cell phone. Like, you can put everything up on there. You don't need to. I love watching sports, but I don't need it to survive.
Right.
We consider all these things to be necessities.
Yeah.
And that's where, I think a lot of people get lost when it comes to financials because they see, especially in the city, they see everyone else has it and they got to have it, even cars.
It's privilege. It's called we are privileged individuals. So
yes.
Once we get to a point where, oh, well, he has it, I should have it. Like you said, oh, well, they have it, I should have it. You're trying to keep up with everybody else, but you need to, sometimes it's good to just live almost below your means until you can get right. Because when you start living above your means, that's when you start getting yourself in trouble.
Well, that's how all those guys started. Those guys we were just talking about, the millionaires and billionaires.
Right.
They started off living below their means, starting their companies out of garages and doing all that
Absolutely.
stuff. Like, and that's how they got started. They start up, and I mean, nowadays, if you can save $40,000, live below your means, live down to eating ramen noodles and everything for a year. When you're first getting that first decent job, and try to save $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, get a house, you're in the positive. Because I tell you, real estate ain't going nothing but up.
That's it.
And there may be a few years where it kind of plateaus and then goes down a little bit, but eventually it's going to go back up. We know it because we see how much everything costs now.
Yeah, we're in it.
So it's going up. If you can get that house, or if you can save some money and get into the stock market. Stock market since 2008 has went from 8,000 to like 40 some odd thousand. It's multiplied times 5.
Right.
So if you had $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 that you got into the stock market back in 2008,
right? You're doing some things.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. I mean, $20,000 it's probably, they say it doubles every 7 years. It probably easily did that. So you should be sitting at about $100,000, $150,000, $250,000 just on that $10,000.
But that's a long game. And when you're in your 20s, you're not thinking about that.
No, it's hard.
I know when I was in my 20s,
hard.
I damn sure wasn't thinking about retirements and 401ks and Roth accounts and none of that. I was thinking about that girl looks good over there. I'm going to go talk to her and see if she wants a drink. So, that's...
And get dinner.
And hopefully I could see her again. So, it's one of those things where, as you mature and you get older, you start to see the bigger picture. And I really just hope that the younger generations, the kids coming up behind us will understand that it's not going to get any easier. Like, I'm 42 and I've never owned a home. Me and my wife are physically trying to do that. Save, do this, make responsible moves. It's hard. And it's tough because as soon as you see there's some daylight, oh, this happens, or oh, this went up, or this went up. Oh, we're asking you for this now.
Or a doctor visit.
Yeah, or life-changing events or anything.
Your car breaks down. Yeah. Something. You need
4 new tires. That's over $1,000 if you drive an SUV.
Yeah.
You need this. This breaks down at your house. This happens, and oh, this wasn't insured. I mean, the list can go on. So I look at things like, what are these kids going to do moving forward? Because as stuff keeps getting higher and higher, Mom and Dad, guess what? These kids will have to still be in the house, and I guess you guys are going to have to come up with some type of payment plan for them to start helping pay bills because this is what it is. This is reality. It's tough.
We're getting to a point of, a lot of the countries, their minimum wages don't exist. They pay people for a long time. They're paying $1 an hour, $2
crazy.
An hour. And they all did. Families all lived together in small houses and stuff across the world. And the United States had this set up to where, you knew it could only last so long once industrialization hit and everything like that. And it's finally starting to hit an apex. Like you said, you're gonna have kids, where it used to be they moved out at 18.
No,
they're gonna be moving out at 25 now.
Unless they go to the military, but every kid doesn't want to go to the military. So here we are.
So yeah, it's definitely tough out there. We see what we want. We see these NBA players.
Absolutely.
We see these baseball players.
Oh yeah.
We see these basketball players.
Football players making $60 million guaranteed. Hey, good for them, but that's not your life.
Nope. And that's the thing. So they can do that. Actors, actresses, singers. Mm-hmm. You know, you see Taylor Swift. She's traveling the damn world. You know, worth over $1 billion now, filling stadiums. You know, if you don't have those kind of talents, where you have someone that you can entertain,
right,
in some sort of way, to where you can bring in millions and billions of dollars for someone else, and then they'll pay you that money. You got to work that life. You got to find a way. And that's what I've always done. Like, I still now to this day, I don't have to do side gigs and everything else. I have a good job. But I still, whenever I can get a chance to make some side dollars, yes, I find a way. I'm working them. Because, you know, Christmas comes around. Yep. I have 3 kids. Let me tell you, that's one I'm going to warn you about, man. You have that coming up with that baby on the way. You better find out.
I got one. We're only going to do one. So, hey, man, I think the cool part is that she's got a village around her too. So I mean, between my family, my wife's family, and then people that aren't blood but we consider family, like you know, you're one of those people I'm referring to. You know, I don't worry about her because I feel like she's going to be in good hands.
Always.
Between her family and our extended families. You know, there's people that already care about her and they haven't even seen her.
That child's always going to have someone.
Always. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in that aspect, I'm blessed. But there's some people that don't have that. They're not blessed to have that. So, you know, it's one of those things where I always go back and I always think about things like that because it's a blessing. It truly is a blessing to have people who care beyond blood. Because we all know there's people who are actually your family members that can give a damn about you. So when you got family that care, when you got friends who care, when you got friends who are damn near family care, it's a blessing, man. And it helps the process.
It does. For me, my kids have always had more than enough around them between grandparents and aunts and uncles and everything under the sun. I mean, it's insane the amount of, you know, they've never wanted for nothing.
Yeah.
And I always worried about that. My daughter's doing good now. I mean, Jaden's gonna be my oldest son. He's gonna be fine. I'm sure Gavin will be fine too.
Yeah.
Growing up. But you know, Kaylee's she's never let that go to heart. Even though she got everything she ever wanted, she's out here working hard. Started her own business. That's why you haven't seen Stat Girl in a while.
Yep.
December and November are busy months. That's holiday time.
Yeah.
Everyone's going out of town, so she's out there. You know, working. Basically, from time she gets up till literally the next morning when she gets up, because she's at someone else's house.
So grinding.
She's grinding all day long, making that money. She's got to use the busy season, holiday season. People go out of town. They need someone to watch their animals. Like she's like literally has people calling her. You know, she had one that she actually could only watch them for the first like 8 days of the 12 days they were gone.
Yeah.
So she's doing good. You know, with that, and then once summer hits, May through September. Nonstop. Everybody's going on vacation.
But that's what you want.
That's what you want. She's doing well, and it's even hard for her. Now she's looking to buy a house. That's what she wants to do. She doesn't want to put a bunch of money into an apartment. I understand, because as a person that's put a ton of money into renting stuff, and you know, like you said, it's hard to buy stuff out here. You know, she doesn't want to go down that path, so she's hoping in the next year or two she can buy a home.
Shout out to her. Nothing but good luck for sure.
It'll be tough out there. Well, you know. Good, getting through all that, you know. Want to talk some NFL?
Absolutely, but first, a little local news. Shout out to Michael Vick.
Yes, I forgot about that. Yeah,
man, it was so cool to see that Norfolk State picked him up as head coach. This is cool for not only him but also for Hampton Roads. I mean, here's a guy that is from here. You know, went on, made a name for himself in the NFL. Had a couple hiccups, got back on, did what he needed to do. Became a better human, and now he's getting an opportunity. And I look at somebody like him, and this is one of those prime examples of you could mess up in life and still have an opportunity and a chance to do better. And now look at him. He's about to go ahead and take over a head coaching job. I bet he never thought 20 years ago, I'm going to be a coach. for a school that I grew up around, you know.
Yeah,
and it's
he was what, Newport News.
Yeah, you know, this is big, you know, and I feel like not only now that him being a head coach in Norfolk State, this is going to put Norfolk State on the map for future recruits. I mean,
I don't know, maybe or maybe not might be as big of a thing as when Jackson State got Dion down there, you know, another HBCU, just like Norfolk State, and it put them on the map. Jackson State still had a big season this year, even with Dion gone, with the guy that took his replace. You know, Dion kind of handpicked that gentleman and take his spot there, and they had another good season. And I think they could do. Norfolk State's always kind of struggled with football, but dude, there's too much talent in this area. And I tell you what, there's going to be some, you know, players from the Norfolk, Hampton, Newport News, Virginia Beach area that usually go off to the UVAs, the JMUs, and Virginia Techs that may decide, because if you have Michael Vick come sit in your living room,
I might stay home.
I might stay close to home. You know, not to mention he might steal some guys down from North Carolina and stuff. Because listen, UNC, NC State, Duke, they compete every year. They try to do well, but they're never ever like a massive. So, you know, if you're not going to get that chance to win the national championship down there in North Carolina, why not come play for a guy like Michael Vick?
Right.
You know, speaking of which, UNC did pick up a pretty big name coach themselves.
Bill Dan Belichick.
This man's never coached college football in his life. He said, I want to try something new at 72 years old.
72. I wish him nothing but the best. Bill is one of the best coaches I've ever seen. Not being biased because he coaches for the all great here, but
he did get 6 Super Bowls.
He did get us to Super Bowls. I mean, the man is he's going down to he's about 13 wins away from the all-time winningest coach in the NFL. I mean,
behind Don Shula.
13 wins is all he needed. But I mean, I don't even think he really wanted that.
He don't care.
He didn't care about that. I mean,
he's feeling young again, man.
Yeah,
he got that girlfriend.
Got a young girlfriend. Got a new position around young kids. He can mold these young players. Bill is the type of guy that you can't mold an NFL star, because these guys have been told for the past 20 years that you are the guy.
He better not let that girlfriend come to practice.
I hope not, but hey, I mean,
you never know. Them senior now they got these 23, 24-year-old seniors
with the NIL deals. So you can't say it's the money, because they got the money too. So
that's what I'm saying. Everyone's like, oh, she after him for the money. She could have met plenty of guys with money.
Yeah,
there's lots of guys out there with money. Like, I mean, something drawing attention. I don't know.
She's got daddy issues. Who knows? Or grandpa issues, because 72 and 20 something.
Hey, listen.
Mans was 50 when she was born. Cut it out. Yeah, that's wild. Think about that, fellas.
Oh,
that man was 50 years old when she was born.
Man, as bad as that sounds, if you're 50 years old, your girl. Think about if you're 50. Oh, my soulmate might be being born.
Now. You still got time. Just hang in there.
That's
you still got time. You can still make it.
Bill.
Damn it, William.
Live
your life, though. I mean, congratulations to him. I hope he does well over there. I mean, I'm sure he will. He'll get adjusted real quick. He just has to deal with. I think the thing that's really going to shake him up is the whole NIL, this situation in the transfer portal.
That's going to be different for him.
That's going to be real different for him.
Have to handle, because these players aren't going to want to put up with his these
no.
prima donnas nowadays, man. All these young kids going to college. You know, he's going to be like, "Oh, you late to practice? You're sitting the bench," and they're going to be like, "I'm going to transfer."
That's cool. South Carolina said they're going to give me an extra $1 million anyway to come over there. So I just won't show up for the rest of the year.
Now, college football is talking. They may start limiting transfers or finding a way. They need to, because
they have to.
It's getting out of hand. Like,
well, it's in the trial. It's in the trial stages still. I get it, but they have to, like you said, they gotta bring this back in, because the coach you can have a bad day at practice, and I don't want to play here anymore.
And they got to change the eligibility too. They play. If they can play up to 4 games in the season, as long as they don't play a 5th game, they can leave the school, pick a different school, and then they don't lose that year eligibility. They can play again the following year. I'm like, well, damn. I mean, these guys are going to be out here 30 years old playing for, the UNLV coach did it. I mean, quarterback this year. He said that he didn't get his nil money or whatever they promised him. He played the first 4 games and then dipped.
See ya.
And I forget where he's at now. I don't know. I lost track.
It's a money game now, man. We got to get moms a house. We got to get dad that boat he's been screaming about. You know what I'm saying?
Something. I mean, damn. I mean, shit. That's crazy. Oh, that was the other thing. You've been hearing these crazy, they're all trade rumors until they happen.
Right.
LeBron James.
I don't believe it.
going to Golden State, or even Jimmy Buckets.
I don't believe that either.
Going to Golden State. Now they did get Schroeder out in Golden State, took him from a damn Nets. I mean, we get a good player, we just trade him away.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
I don't know what we're doing.
He's definitely a good guard
player.
for sure.
He was averaging his highest points per career. He was at 17 or 18 points a game. Now he's going to play with Steph Curry.
And they said he's going to start off the rip if they get him. They're planning to add him right into the damn rotation.
He's already there. I don't know when I don't know when the first start is.
Jesus.
I also want to throw out there, shout out to Bronny. Got invited to the G League event, whatever. The big one.
Keep hooping, young man. Keep hooping.
Averaging over 20 points a game in the last 3 games.
I'm loving it. They said this man couldn't play basketball. They said it was nepotism. You don't get invited to damn near NBA tryouts. I'm not getting invited, okay? As much as I love basketball, I can put up a couple shots.
Michael Jordan's kids out there anywhere?
Michael Jordan's son was snorting coke online, okay? He's not playing basketball. I'm sorry, and it wasn't alleged. We can look up these pictures. So I can't sit here and fault a young man for trying to live out his dream, and he's doing it. What's the problem?
And everyone's like, oh, he struggled. Well, he was 19, 20 years old playing against grown-ass fucking men. Not everyone is Luka Doncic.
And the problem is people... LeBron James came out and he was playing. LeBron James was a man-child.
He's different.
Did you see how this man was built?
He is a top 3 player at every step on the freaking court. We're not saying his son is his dad, but we're saying he's talented enough to be an NBA player one day.
That's all I was saying. And we have to stop comparing apples to oranges because
he should change his name to
he should have
George or something.
Because I remember they asked him as soon as so Bronny, how do you feel having the same name as your dad and this and that? He's like, well, first of all, my name is Bronny. His name is LeBron. You know what I'm saying? That's first. Second of all, I don't want to be like my dad. These are the guys I want to be like. He mentioned the Drew Holidays of the league. He mentioned these guys that were they contributed to the game.
Yeah, and he's a lockdown defender.
He's a hell of a defender. The man gets blocks.
He's scrappy.
And this is what you need. Jeremy, you know me. I've watched so much basketball in my day, man. And I'll be honest with you, I love a good play. I love when a guy can jump out the gym. I love it when a guy can cross a man up and make him fall. And that's cool. But that's one play.
One.
I need you to get back on defense.
And for me, everyone likes different parts. Some people are all about the dunking. Some people... I love defense, but my favorite thing is a great pass.
Yeah.
Show me a great pass. When I go through and I watch highlight films, I love watching guys, like Jason Kidd. My man White Chocolate out there. Oh my God, he threw some dirty passes.
Oh my goodness.
Throwing some crazy passes. I mean, even
Steve Nash. LeBron
James.
I mean, one of the best passers ever.
Great passer. And then there's the do everything according to the book, the way it's supposed to be done, fundamentally sound John Stockton. That man, most assists by far.
Over 12,000.
Over 12,000 assists. We got to mention, if we're going to mention passing, we got to mention Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson throwing passes that had never been seen as a rookie.
Showtime.
I love passing. And that's why, to me, when you mentioned, I hated growing up, these kids be like, oh, well, the best basketball player, you got to beat me one-on-one. That's not basketball.
Yeah.
That's one-on-one. It's a form of basketball, but that's not the game of basketball. The best player in the game of basketball has got to be able to play defense, pull boards,
talk to him,
throw assists,
talk to him,
and be able to put the ball in the basket.
Exactly.
If I have someone else on my team, and that's the problem I see nowadays, if someone on my team is hot, and if you know anything about basketball, sometimes you can't hit nothing. Sometimes a guy can throw the ball up, not even looking at the basket. It's going in.
It's going in, so we're going to feed him.
So I'm going to keep feeding them. I played basketball a few times against some youngsters with my son here recently. Kids his age, 16 years old and stuff. And they'll have a guy that'll hit a couple shots in a row, and then it's they want their turn.
No.
I don't want my turn. I want to pass it right back out to you, and I'm going to go under and get the board just in case you do miss.
I'll do some cleanup work.
I'm good. I'm garbage man.
You miss, I'll put it back up for you. No worries.
That's where I've gotten nowadays. I can hit a jump shot if I need to. If it gets to that point in the game, no one's on my team hitting the shot, I'm like, all right, I got you. But otherwise, I'm going down low. I want to pull the boards and keep flipping it out.
Think about it. I scored 10, but I contributed for 10 of those points as well.
Yep.
So I got 10 assists, 10 points. Let's say I get 5 rebounds and a couple steals. In my opinion, in an NBA game, I had a great game.
Yeah, if you go 10, 10, and 5, to me, that's just as good as scoring 25-0.
I had a great game.
Yeah.
And my team won? Okay, what are we talking about? You're not going to have a 60-point night every night.
No.
You're not going to go out there and you're not going to be holding up a sign in the back. 91 points tonight, guys. 105 points tonight, guys. I guarantee your teammates, they're not going to like you.
So they had what was the streak that Kobe had where he scored like I forget what it was.
All the road games he had 60 or better or something crazy.
He had like 11 straight games over 40 points or something like that.
Crazy.
The stat that they never named along with that is they went like 5 and 6 during that 11-game span. Sometimes your team don't need over 40. Sometimes they need you to score 25 and get 10 assists
and get the win.
Yeah, get the W. So that's one of them things that I always worry about. I'm telling you right now. If LeBron James goes to the Golden State Warriors, just go ahead and wrap it up. Because can you imagine that man being able to drive to the basket and be able to – I mean, what are you going to do? You're either going to let him score every time he goes down the lane, or eventually you're going to have to leave Steph Curry open.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, but they're going to have to lose some pieces too. I hope if it's looking like
they're talking Kuminga.
And that's the thing. So Kuminga is a freakish athlete, but you got somebody like LeBron coming.
Yeah.
So his IQ is much higher than a Kuminga.
Yeah.
And his confidence is much higher than a Kuminga. Kuminga is a freak of nature. I watch these games with him, and he's great. But if you had a LeBron, a Steph Curry, a Draymond, a Looney, and a Buddy Hield on the floor at one time, I promise y'all it's gonna be real tough. It's gonna be tough for these guys.
You're talking length. The only defensive liability is probably Steph Curry, and even he's scrappy. He's been in the top 5 in the league in steals a lot of times.
Right.
And he has the backing behind him of a Draymond Green and Looney.
A dog.
Dog. Like, so, and, LeBron James can always hold his own on defense. I think he could have been a top defender in history, but he always, kind of saved it for offense. That's what made, that to me is the separating factor with Michael Jordan. He was a monster at all times, competing on both sides of the court. He never took a play off.
Right.
That's the one slim deciding factor for me.
But they say he was playing plumbers, which I don't agree.
No. I'm still seeing
these plumbers and carpenters. Where?
Did you see Sean Kemp plumbing anything?
He's a plumber?
Yeah, he was clearing the pipes out on that damn hoop when he came through.
So you telling me Gary Payton and Sean Kemp were plumbers and carpenters?
What about Clyde the Glide?
You telling me Clyde Drexler? And here we are naming some of the 50th, 75 greatest players to ever touch a hardwood floor. So you telling me Stockton and Malone was trash?
Trash. What about Charles Barkley?
He was ass.
He was horrible.
Had to be.
He had to be. He was a plumber or a carpenter.
Come on, man. Cut it out. Stop playing with me, yo.
Ridiculous.
Stop playing with me.
Hold up. Wasn't there a guy in the Eastern Conference started around 1993-94 by the name of Shaquille O'Neal?
He's trash.
He was awful. I mean, they made it to the finals when Michael Jordan wasn't in the league.
Softest player I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That's what y'all are telling me.
Yeah.
When I log online and I see these sports pages and you guys are like, oh, well, look at here. Y'all are saying 90s basketball was tough. It was. You came in the paint. If you wanted to wrong, you catch your elbow to the face. And it wasn't a flagrant, Jeremy.
No. Akeem Olajuwon.
It's a foul.
Akeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson. I mean, the list goes on. Big men were big men.
Are you serious?
You couldn't come to the basket.
You better not.
No. And then if you kept hitting threes, one of them times you were going to jump up and you were going to catch a forearm shiver and end up in the third row.
Thank you.
Then they would just be like, that's a regular foul. You get 2 shots.
Could you imagine seeing you tonight? You go to your calendar and they got Detroit circled, and you going up against people: The Worm, Bill Laimbeer, Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, John Sally, Edwards, Rick Mahorn. These guys are physical. Michael Jordan had to go back to the lab and put weight on.
Can you imagine Ant trying to rise up and try to dunk on one of them guys? No, Laimbeer would have flat just grabbed him and threw him to the floor.
He would have put him in a suplex, bro. He would have probably broke his neck out here.
Yeah.
You think John Morant's jumping over a damn Rick Mahorn?
No.
You think John Sally's going to let you posterize him?
No.
So it's funny to me.
As long as he's not breaking into computers for the bad guys.
Exactly. Let me push my glasses up. Yeah. It's true. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I mean, were you guys there? Because some of these people that are talking, they've never seen these games.
Never.
They're just seeing people have edited and chopped different plays and videos. Oh, here we see Michael Jordan. Yeah, he's playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, and this guy is a second string. But did you see Craig Elo? Did you see Jeff Hornacek? Did you see these guys? You see a Mark Price? I didn't mean to say Hornacek was playing for Utah, but these are some of these.
Mark Price.
These are these scrappy guys. Mark Price had one of
the
highest. Craig, what's his name?
Craig Elo.
These men were ringers. You leave them open as cash. I need you guys to do a little homework tonight, and I need you guys to look up Mark Price highlights. Okay, nasty. This guy wasn't talked about. Mark Price was a damn demon. A demon.
He was cash.
Every
shot.
Bro, if Mark Price played in today's game, it'd be Steph Curry, Mark Price, and whoever other guard we're talking about.
Dude, if they allowed 3-pointers, so back then it was frowned upon to take 10 3-pointers in the game. It was considered taking bad shots.
Come on, bro.
Can you imagine if Mark Price, Steve Kerr,
come on, man,
Craig Hodges,
come on, man, high percentage shooters,
Craig Elo, these guys shot 44, 45% from line.
A season, Jeremy.
Michael Jordan trusted no one. John Paxson.
Nobody.
He threw the ball to Steve Kerr in one of the biggest moments in NBA Finals history because he knew that man.
And what that man say? Mike, if you need help, I'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
I'll be ready.
I'll be ready. I'm right here.
I'm right here.
And then the speech he gave during the...
Had to help him out.
Listen, Mike came to me and said, man, I can't handle these measures.
I need your help.
So I had to bail Mike out again.
Damn it. Like, come on, man. And that's what I'm saying. When we sit down and talk about players, these are guys that, number one, in today's game, because it's not a physical game anymore. It's a lot of isolation basketball. Let me see your best player versus my best player. We're going to put them together, and you guys react off of what we're doing. There's no more real team basketball. When I watch teams move the ball around, like let's say, for instance, when I watch a Warriors game, or when I watch a Celtics game, or when I watch an old Spurs game.
Man, Spurs
and the way they move that ball around. We coach, and we tell the kids, bro, the ball moves faster than your feet ever will.
Ever will.
Ever will. I don't care you could have the fastest man in the world out. I bet you I can throw a ball faster than he can get to the destination. I bet you.
I mean, we used to we loved passing. We used to throw the ball. I always told people I knew which way Brandon was going to go based on the way the sweat was rolling off his forehead.
Yeah.
Like I knew which way he was cutting. And you know, it was ridiculous. I remember throwing a couple passes and Brandon just setting the ball down. Didn't even take the shot. He's like, "No, that ain't fair.
That's not right. Let's start over."
He just put it down, and let them take the ball because but that's because we love that part of the game. Nowadays, I feel like it's lost. Like I said, I played these 4 youngsters. There's me, another baseball coach, and we had 2 of the young men on our team, and we played 4 of their guys, and they thought that they were going to run us around and everything like that. We didn't have to. The ball moves for you.
The ball moves.
Like, you just keep hitting the corners, take a few steps to the left or right, boom, boom. We got making layups. They're lucky if they touch the ball.
Guys can play in the NBA longer. When I look at certain athletes, like we look at baseball players, we look at basketball players. Football, not so much. You're getting hit. And one hit is bad.
Yeah.
One hit can end your career, and we know this. But basketball, once that IQ starts getting to a point, for instance, I can give you somebody that has changed their game for the better. Vince Carter.
Yes.
We look at somebody like Vince Carter, Mr. Do-It-All. He didn't get that half-man, half-amazing game for a reason. This man, when he started getting jumpers knee, because he can't windmill all the time and 360 on the team anymore, he changed his game. He already had a jumper, but he just said, you know what? I'm going to use this a little bit more. And he changed his game, and he stayed in the league for 22 seasons. 21 seasons or something.
You have to change your game because the game itself, no matter what sport, basketball, we're seeing in football now, running backs are coming back. Running games making a surge again.
Thank God.
For years, it was all about you had to have a running game to win football, and then it switched over. It was probably about the Peyton Manning time. Dan Marino probably started it, and then Peyton Manning came in behind that and said, "Hey, they're onto something here." And then even after the Patriots had won 3 Super Bowls, they saw it had changed. They changed from a running defense team to an offense team.
Yeah.
And they won 3 more Super Bowls. Like, that's how Peyton Manning won his Super Bowls. That's how Drew Brees won his Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Is this run and gun style offense? Well, teams are starting to figure that out on defense. So now we're going to the running game playing defense. Kansas City has realized this.
Yep.
Andy Reid has realized this because he's been around for probably 3 different
eras of football. Exactly.
And he sees it, and everyone's like, "Oh, their offense is struggling. They're not going to be able to hold it in the playoffs." Guys, they're still 13-1.
They've lost 1 game.
1 game to Buffalo. By the way, Buffalo beat Detroit again. We'll get into that in a minute, but that's ridiculous. I do remember a couple other things in the NBA. One, they're doing a thing looking at the three-pointers. Thanks, Steph Curry. And the three-pointers in the league. The Celtics right now are on pace to destroy the record for most three-pointers taken in an NBA season. They're averaging 51 three-point attempts a game. Yeah. That's it. If you make 40% of that, you're at about 20. That's 60 points just off three-pointers. Doesn't matter on free throws, layups, anything else. You're making 60 points. That's if you shoot 40%. I mean, sometimes they shoot 45, 50% of the game. Sometimes they only shoot 30, but still, you're shooting 51 average per game. That's insane. But, especially considering 25 years ago, if a team took 51 over 5 games,
they're in trouble.
That was crazy to people. The other thing is, did you hear about the new All-Star game?
Yeah, there's going to be a different layout, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, so they're going to have 3 teams of 8 players of All-Stars, and then they're going to have the team that wins the Rising Stars be the 4th team, and they're going to make it a 4-game playoff. 2 semifinals and then a final. First to 40.
I love it.
Wins the game, and you go on to the finals. I don't know what the prize is going to be, but it turns into more of a tournament style.
I love it.
They're trying to find a way to make them competitive, and making a tournament style for anything makes things competitive. We've seen it with the NBA Cup. We saw what Giannis just did.
He went crazy.
He went nuts. Giannis being Giannis, I still think it's hilarious. They start off 1-7, 1-8. Everyone counted them out already. Ooh. Yeah, they're right back up there. I know Boston's not sitting there going, yeah, they stink. They're easy.
No, not at all.
They're not stupid.
Not at all.
So, but I just wanted to bring up that new NBA. I thought it looked cool. I'm sure, as always, there will be haters.
Well, yeah.
But who cares?
Some people don't even watch basketball until after the All-Star break or playoffs. So, come on.
Some people don't even like basketball
at all,
and they still want to make comments on this stuff.
You don't even watch.
Then why do you care?
You don't even watch the games.
Like, I'd be seeing people comment on all kinds of sports, and they'd be making comments, and I'm like, have you watched a game this year? Like, how are you going to make a comment about, Travis Hunter didn't even, he was an average wide receiver? I'm like, by what number did you see average wide receiver? And that's if you look at the numbers. If you watch the games, man-made catches that no one else is making.
And then he's doing Spider-Man backflips in the end zone. This dude is a freak he's a whole freak when it comes to being an athlete.
Well, he's probably going to be the number 1 pick.
I'm not going to say probably. I'm going to say yeah.
He's probably going to be unless they try to draft a quarterback, which could be his teammate Shedeur. And Deion Sanders may say no because it looks like it could be the New York Giants.
And you need to take a step out of the Manning's page. Archie did it best. My son is not going there to fail.
Yeah, he did it twice. I think it was the Chargers both times.
Yeah, and then he won, wasn't it? Yeah, exactly.
It was the Chargers both times.
Yep.
Yeah, because Ryan Leaf ended up with the Chargers.
Absolutely.
And Phillip Rivers ended up with the Chargers.
That's right.
Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. Eli ended obviously with the Giants and Peyton Manning in the Colts. 2 Super Bowls.
Eli's the worst quarterback ever.
So, what's his alter ego that he played in the one video? He pretended he was some college kid again. We'll have to look that up. They're making a movie about it.
Why?
Because 2 Super Bowl rings.
He had 2 good throws his whole career.
They beat them twice.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
That's out of my brain. I don't even remember those Super Bowls. I remember the one we lost to Philly. That's it.
This past week, did y'all win?
Well, we did exactly what we did and what we've been doing all season, and that's lose the game. But we have to take away what we saw as Patriot fans. Drake May looks absolutely amazing.
Travis Hunter could be available if the Giants drop that ball.
Yes, sir. We need him because we needed some threats and we need an O-line.
Well, you need some defensive backs too. You get both with him. You get a wide receiver and a defensive back.
I wouldn't even play him like talking about. I'd bring him out like 3rd down on defense, but
like a nickel corner.
Yeah. Offense, I need you to get busy.
Yeah,
because what we have out here isn't like you.
I can't even. I'm going to be honest. And as much as I watch football, and I play fantasy football, so most guys on the field making plays stuff. I can't name one wide receiver on your fucking team.
Bourne.
Who? Jason?
I wish. Well, some of these catches, he was.
I swear to God, like that's how it's gotten. Like I don't know. I know Drake May.
Yep.
don't know. Like, when I look at fantasy football and I look at all the players, I don't see anyone right now. They need someone.
Our tight end is really good. We got our tight end, Hopper. He's really good.
Okay.
Or I think Hooper. Excuse me.
Yeah.
He's Drake May's main target. Honestly, and then we got Stevenson. Sometimes Gibson comes out and he plays, but these guys are. It's one of those things that we'll have a good. Okay, second down, we give it to him. Cool, we got it. It's 3rd and 2. We can't convert.
Well, that's gonna be the thing. Like, whichever wide receiver ends up going there, if they end up taking a wide receiver, he's gonna be that next big fantasy guy. Like, because some of these teams that either have an injured wide receiver that was a number 1 guy or don't have a number 1 guy. Justin Jefferson goes to Minnesota. Well, Diggs had left. They didn't have anyone. He became a machine immediately.
Yeah.
Chase goes to Cincinnati. Well, Burrow had to have someone throw. He'd already thrown to him in college.
No,
so
Chase is different.
And then you had
these guys are really good.
Puka Nacua went to Rams, and he goes to the Rams. And when he first came in, the first 8-9 games last year,
right.
Cooper Kupp was out.
Right.
So he became the guy, and he is the guy now. Even when Cooper Kupp's healthy, Cooper Kupp this past week had 0 catches.
Right.
Didn't get one fantasy point. Puka Nacua still had his 7 catches for 73, 83 yards, and also had 2 or 3 carries for 15 yards as taking the ball to the backfield. So that I think that's the Patriots are going, when they get a wide receiver, Drake May's playing decent, and like I said, 75% of the football world couldn't name a wide receiver on that team.
Unless you're a fan. Because I'm a fan.
That's your team.
That's my squad.
It's not like for me, we better have someone. We got damn Tyreek Hill. Everyone knows who the fuck that is. If you watch any kind of football, you got Waddle. Yeah,
2 of the fastest receivers in the league.
So that's kind of guys. If he hits anyone like that, it could be.
Oh man, I'm hoping because Patriot fans, I know we're bleeding out right now. We need something.
You guys still have 3 wins, right? So that should put you at 2nd or 3rd overall pick.
And that's what we need. We need.
You've never rooted for the Giants so hard in your life.
We need the Giants to win another one, and we need Carolina
to win
another one.
We'll go with that one to start, even though it's not the Thursday night game. The Giants will be playing a quarterback making his first ever start.
Okay.
And I sent you a text about this.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins is going to the bench.
Let's go. Damn it, Kirko.
Penix Jr. out of Washington last year.
Now's your time.
Making his first start. And I like this. I thought he was underappreciated. He had 1 bad game in the championship game. He was phenomenal. He did have a couple of really good wide receivers at Washington.
Right.
But I think this guy is going to be amazing in the NFL level. And I think people are ready to find out. Pitts is about to finally get a little bit more action than I think he's been getting. I'm telling you, I think he can have a come out party. But if you're the Giants, you got to be looking at this. This is a quarterback's first ever time in the NFL. You got to try to get that W.
You got to take advantage. This will be one of those odd and rare weekends where I'll be rooting for the midgets. I hope you guys can do something. Little Giants is what I like to call you guys. You guys absolutely suck. But if you guys can get this win, it looks better for New England to get a good draft pick. Thank you.
But the Thursday night game is the 2 teams that are battling at the bottom of the last playoff spot for the AFC. That's the Denver Broncos at the LA Chargers. Chargers, they took an L this past week. The Broncos started a little slow, but then ended up finishing strong and ended up winning their game. This is, I believe, the Broncos are 9-5 and the Chargers are 8-6. The Chargers do have a 2-game lead over that last playoff spot, mainly because my Dolphins, shit the bed against Houston, giving them a 2-game lead over, the Chargers have a 2-game lead over the Dolphins, the Bengals, so they would have to lose 2 out of 3, and all those teams would have to win all 3 games.
Right.
So, they do have a little bit of a cushion, but, to me, it's still, you want to have a must-win if you're the Chargers. Denver at the Chargers, I'm going to say Chargers.
I'm going Denver.
That's probably the right pick.
I'm going to go Denver just because they're doing their thing.
Justin Herbert hasn't been 100% healthy. He's questionable this week. I'm going to put this out there. If Justin Herbert doesn't play, they don't win.
Justin Herbert is such a tough quarterback, but he has to play.
Yeah, he has to play. If he doesn't play, Denver's going to walk away.
He reminds me of one of them old school quarterbacks from back in the day because
always limping around.
And still in the game, Didn't take himself out.
Troy Aikman don't even got his helmet on straight. It's like this.
Yeah.
And he's like...
He's still playing.
He walking around drunk on his, 15th concussion of the month.
Put him in there.
He's like, I'm not coming out of the game. You can hear that when he announces now. Like, he gets lost in, like whirls. Like, you can tell. CTE is setting in. I hope... pray for your health.
Yeah, man.
He took a lot of hits.
He sure did.
Houston at Kansas City.
Come on.
Houston has beat the Dolphins, and Houston is probably going to win their division. I would say Houston's. I'm going to take Houston to beat Kansas City this week.
Well, Mahomes is week to week, so I don't think he'll be playing this week. That's a big factor.
Carson Wentz.
Wentz, he has won games.
He has won games,
and they still. Here's the thing about a good offense. You can kind of plug and play. You should be able to.
Yes.
I mean, now I'm not saying he's Mahomes because we know he's not.
No.
But you've been around for the offense. You've been there all year, right? You've been practicing, right? So this should be business as usual.
And is Andy Reid still there?
I thought Andy is still. Andy's still on the side.
Andy's still on the side. Hurt. He's made a lot of quarterbacks look really good.
Really good.
Alex Smith.
Yes.
Obviously Patrick Mahomes, Donovan McNabb. Pretty much anyone that he's ever coached has looked good. I don't know. It's on 1 week. He has, he has a little bit of a short week. It's on Saturday game because we got 2 Saturday games.
Yep, I peeped that.
Houston and Kansas City, and then the other side. I mean, that's a good game. And then the other game on Saturday is Pittsburgh at Baltimore.
I'm going Baltimore.
All day.
I'm going Baltimore. Again, I don't have anything. I really don't hate Pittsburgh.
You just dislike their fans.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I watch Pittsburgh games. I love their coach, Tomlin. I think you're phenomenal. I do like how Pittsburgh does with their coaches. They tend to keep them for a long time.
Yep.
I love the loyalty. I love the camaraderie. But with all of that said, go Baltimore because I want to see Jackson shake off the naysayers. They keep saying he's not good. They keep saying he's
I don't know. The man threw 5 touchdown passes this past week.
I'm trying to figure it out too.
And I don't know. I can't even remember who they were playing, but they threw 5 touchdown passes against an NFL team.
These are pros.
And people would be like, "Oh, they were playing a crappy team." Can you throw 5 touchdown passes against an NFL team?
I can't throw 5 touchdown passes against the local kids out.
No, I can't throw 5 touchdown passes against Kellam High School, and Kellam High School ain't very good.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Come on.
I ain't throwing 5 he threw 5 touchdown passes in an NFL game.
But he sucks.
And he's horrible. But I think Baltimore wins this game, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think Baltimore is going to make a statement in this game. They're at home.
Yeah.
I think Baltimore wins like 38-13.
I think it's going to be a tight one. I think it'll be something like 30-27, 30-28, something.
And it could be. I know Baltimore's defense hasn't been what it usually is.
Right.
But Baltimore has a chance to tie the division this week. They were down 2 games. Pittsburgh, obviously, they're running the craziest gauntlet of anyone's schedule on the season. They played Philadelphia last week. They have Baltimore this week and Kansas City next week.
Jesus.
That's disgusting.
It is.
But they lost to Philadelphia. They stuck with them for a little while. Philadelphia pulled away at the end. Philadelphia, great job.
Looking strong.
Philadelphia ranking right up there with the Detroit Buffaloes and Kansas City right now.
This is going to be such a good end of the year situation.
It's going to be a great season. We talked about the Giants, Atlanta. We didn't pick. I mean, I can't pick the Giants. I mean, I gotta pick Atlanta.
I'm going Atlanta, but in my heart, if the midgets win,
not gonna hurt your feelings.
Cool.
You're good with it.
I'm good with
it. Of course, Chicago. They've lost 8 games in a row, and now they got Detroit at home. Chicago's at home against Detroit. That's not even a pick. That's Detroit. I don't even think. I mean, Chicago almost beat them on Thanksgiving. They almost came back because Detroit fell asleep after they must have ate turkey at halftime because they were up 16-0, and they should have been up 30-0.
Right.
And they let them get back in the game. But I think Detroit will make that same mistake twice.
Yeah. This is another warm-up game. This is when you start implementing plays that you kind of want to see if they can work. Moving on to the postseason. What can we do new that might work? Let's try these plays out because, I mean, let's be honest. When you drop 8 straight games, you're not good.
No.
So.
And Detroit coming off a loss, too, they're going to have a point to prove. They can't lose now. They're going to tie with Minnesota.
They got to win.
They got to win because they need – they have to win because it's a conference and a division game. Those games are going to be the games that count the tie breaks with them, Minnesota. and we'll be looking forward to that game, Week 18, Game 17, Minnesota and Detroit. That'll be a game that could not only decide the division, that could end up deciding the 1 seed.
Yep.
It could end up deciding, whether you're a 1 seed or a 5 seed.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Which is wild.
Yeah. Like, to me, they should go by record. I don't think that damn Tampa Bay down there who's going to finish at 9-8 should get a 4 seed or a 3 seed.
No.
Or in the Rams also in the same boat. Both those teams are like 8-6 right now, and they're considered ranked higher than Minnesota, who's 12-2.
I don't get that. Well, I get it. I get it. Division, conferences, things like that. But you're absolutely right. I mean, you lost 8 games.
Like, if you win your division, you should be guaranteed a playoff spot.
Easy.
But it doesn't guarantee you a seeding.
Right.
Like, I think the NBA went to that. NBA switched it to where you can win your division, and that means that you're automatically in the playoffs. But that's it.
Yeah.
It means you're in the playoffs. You don't get to be in number 3 because you won your division.
Right.
If you're the 7th best record, you're the 7th seed.
And that's where you are. And you will be playing the 2nd best team in your conference.
Yes, like you don't get to lose 8 games, and meanwhile the team that lost 3 games has to play on the road, and you lost 8 games, you get to play a home game.
That don't make sense.
That's stupid.
That's dumb. What's the point of winning? What's the point of winning all the regular season games then?
No, and if I'm Minnesota, the thing is if Minnesota takes an L or whatever, and they fall to, a point, or Detroit even, if they fall down a game or two, why in that last game? Why even play everyone? Like, just sit them down because hey, I'm going to be the 5 seed anyway.
Right. No need to get these guys hurt.
No need to get hurt. Like, so to me that's a stupid part. You have Cleveland and Cincinnati. Jameis Winston taken to the bench. I hate that.
Sorry to see that.
I hate that. It's going to hurt me too because I have Jerry Jeudy. I'm a fantasy team, and
yeah.
Jeudy has been a monster with Jameis Winston. We'll see how that pans out. But I like Jameis Winston. I love his energy.
Me too.
He's scoring fucking points. Maybe he wouldn't, if he didn't have to go drive down the field with 35 points, he wouldn't have to throw a pick at the end of the game. Maybe the defense should probably keep the other team from scoring 30.
Right.
But we're going to bench the quarterback because for some reason Jameis Winston's always a scapegoat.
Yeah.
So, he throws a lot of interceptions.
Yeah.
He throws a lot of turnovers, but still.
You're the captain. They say you're the captain, so you go down with the boat. You're the last one that should be jumping off the boat.
Exactly. You get to take that hit. They're playing at Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati with a new quarterback, Cincinnati's going to destroy them.
Yeah.
I think honestly, it would have been a fun game to watch. Jameis Winston against that horrible ass Cincinnati defense. We'd ended up like 50-45, I think. But going from there, you have Tennessee at Indianapolis.
Go Tennessee.
Indianapolis is now one of those 6-8 teams. They're tied with the Dolphins and Cincinnati. I want Tennessee to win, but I think Indy's going to win. Tennessee's only got like 3 or 4 wins, so I'm going to go with Indy.
I'm still pissed off at Indy's quarterback for taking himself out this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going anybody but them.
Anyone but them. I like that. That's obvious.
Don't take yourself out.
No.
What are you doing?
No.
You would have. If I fainted, that's fine. Keep me in.
If you have a broken hand or whatever, and you need to go tape it up, fine. But this man came out because he was tired.
I'm tired. Hell, I'm tired from work. I still got to work.
Like millions of dollars, boy. I promise you, I'm never going to be tired.
What does that mean?
I'm never going to be tired.
I don't even understand what fatigue means at this point.
Like they're like, how does Steph Curry run around all the time? He has $55 million.
Yeah, to run around. Thank you. What?
He still hasn't figured out how to stop running,
and he won't.
So
until he retires.
Exactly. So, going on down here, we got the Rams at the Jets.
Rams.
Jets look a little better, but Rams are on fire.
Rams
all day long. Puka Nacua.
Aaron Rodgers, please retire after this year.
Yeah.
Please.
Devontae Adams had a monster game.
100 touchdowns now. I think he clocked in 100 touchdowns. Good for him.
He has 198 yards and 2 touchdowns this past week. He's still a monster.
He's still a demon, but
maybe you guys took too long to get rolling.
Right, exactly. And at least Aaron Rodgers played a season. I felt bad for Jets fans last year when he played 4 seconds and got hurt. So,
yeah, he got 4th play of the season. He's out.
Kudos to him.
Got through the season. We got 3 games left. Stay healthy.
He's looking like a typical New York quarterback on that bench, though. I love it. Just arms folded. Anywhere but here. I should have been anywhere but here. Nope, you play for the Jets. This is what it is. You said you could come and turn them around. They're still waiting for you to do that. Not this year, though.
I think they tried to blame the fireman guy because they told him he came out and said that they are using him less in the stadium. They don't want him firing up the crowd anymore. They aren't putting him on the jumbotron anymore.
I think that's messed up.
Are they messing? Are they trying to say fireman whatever his name, the fireman Jets fireman guy, fireman Joe?
Yeah,
Chief
y'all
whatever
see
his
him
name
up
is.
there. Y'all know him.
You know the guy that starts the Jets. Jets.
Let us know his name in the comments.
Yeah, so he definitely he came out and said that they aren't giving him jumbotron time anymore. I guess maybe they think he's bad luck.
But how is he bad? Well, I mean, hell, then I guess he's been bad luck since he's been in there because y'all haven't done shit since he's been going Jets. You might as well keep letting them do it. Consistency is key.
I mean, they haven't won. They did win one Super Bowl. They won Super Bowl 3. We're on 50-something now. That was Joe Namath.
Yeah.
Guaranteed
Hollywood
victory.
Joe.
Hollywood Joe.
That's my guy.
Guaranteed victory.
Guaranteed. It had all the ladies.
Yeah, and that's when they were facing the unbeatable Colts from the Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas.
Don Shula.
Black Shoe Unitas. Let's go.
Yep. So the Rams will win that game. It's a good one. This one could be a trap game for Philadelphia. Philadelphia at Washington.
My heart wants to pick. Wants to pick the Redskins just because they're kind of a local squad, but
it's not gonna happen.
It ain't gonna happen. Philly is
Philly looks good right now.
They're killing right now.
You have to take Philadelphia. I mean, maybe Washington keeps it close because they are at home, but I think Philadelphia.
Shout out to Commanders fans, though. I mean, I want to take the time to say I know you guys have been having a fun season, man. I mean, you guys have been winning. I mean, it's got to feel good, man. I mean, these guys they've been in the trenches, and we all know since we're local, there's nothing. I don't know if there's any more loyalty than a fucking Redskins fan.
And if you're a person that didn't have a way to find a way to watch like NFL Sunday Ticket, they want to pay $400 for NFL Sunday Ticket, or didn't have some other way of finding the way to watch other games, you've been struggling having to watch the dang Redskins for the last 15, 20 years in this area.
Yeah.
Hampton Roads.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that always baffles me. How in the world is something that's 3.5, 4 hours away, your local team? Same thing happens with Baltimore. Like, I get blacked out on Baltimore games on the baseball channel because they say you can watch on your local channel. I don't get the Baltimore Orioles local channel.
Right.
I live in Virginia Beach.
Right.
It's not even the same damn state.
That's true.
But, anyway, yeah, so Washington, we've watched them for years lose. I think they said for the first time in 11 years they clinched a winning season.
That's crazy.
Over a decade is the last time they had a winning season. So they're 9-5. They're probably going to be 9-6 after this week. I'll be rooting for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm rooting for you, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
Shock the world. Shock the world.
Shock the world. It would be great, too, for you to do it, but...
And then you go into the playoffs, everybody kind of be like, okay, we got to watch these guys.
Is this one of those games for them that if they don't win, they, going to struggle to not get into the playoffs?
So if Washington loses, they're one game up on either the Rams. Rams are winning the division, but they're tied with Seattle. So Seattle's one game behind Washington.
Got it. Okay.
So a little bit harder to get in on that side this year. 9-5 has you one game up for the last playoff spot.
Mm-hmm. That's wild, too.
Yep. So then you have Arizona at Carolina.
Go Carolina. Arizona beat us last week, so go Carolina.
Well, Arizona's going to win. So.
Actually, we need Carolina to win. What do they got? Two wins?
They got at least 3
They got 3? Okay. Then I don't care. Actually, I kind of want y'all to win. So that way you get 4 wins. Yeah.
That way you're above you.
Yeah.
Minnesota at Seattle.
We're going Minnesota.
Minnesota is another one of those teams, unless they're playing Detroit, Philadelphia,
they're going to win that.
Buffalo, they're going to win. So, Seattle, you've been looking decent. You're tied for the lead in your division.
I think Gino's still hurt, right?
So, I think so. Buffalo's got a bye game this week.
Rest up.
New England at Buffalo. You can't even pick New England on that one. You just move on to the next game.
We're going to go New England. That's my team. As always, Richard, you know who I'm talking about. We got to get up for this game. Don't duck me. Don't dodge me, buddy. We just gave you guys the division. It took you guys 30 years to get the division.
Let me know where you're going because Kate's going to want to go.
Yeah. Richard Clark, I'm calling you out, buddy. We haven't watched the game in a couple years, and that's my fault because, A, I didn't want to hear you talk all game about how you guys
You're going to hear it this year.
B, we suck, but I miss you, buddy, and we need to get to a game so I can at least talk my shit, even though I know the outcome.
Listen, the only chance you guys have is it has been snowing like hell. Nah, like hell.
Man, we're used to it.
And they've been snowing like crazy, so it kind of equalizes the athleticism of everybody.
I doubt it.
But they still have that guy
Yeah.
in Buffalo. And as good as Lamar Jackson's been playing, as good as Saquon Barkley's been playing, Josh Allen has scored or thrown 10 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
He has, I think, 5 touchdown passes and 5 rushing touchdowns in the last 2 weeks.
This man had the audacity to have the damn division champions hat on like almost 4 weeks ago. I was so pissed off because
6 weeks.
He knew
6 weeks before the end of the season.
These hats were made already.
They made those in August.
This is what this man does. He gets off the field, and I read it, and it said division champs. I'm like, if you don't take that piece of shit hat off, you guys just got good.
See if they'll let you guys borrow one on the way out.
No, we don't need it. We've been running the division. You're welcome. We finally acknowledge you guys as a football team.
They've won it. What this will? I think
this will be like their fifth
year in a row.
Yeah, I mean, hey.
When did Brady leave? About 5
years ago.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So
that's a damn shame. One person can dictate the whole damn division.
The whole division. Well, Buffalo's doing it now. They got freaking Josh Allen. Now they got it for the next fucking 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you guys know how it feels to be winners. Congratulations.
They still haven't got that ring. This could be the year. They look like the ones to beat. I tell you what, they look tough. I watched their game this past week. They played Detroit. And the game ended up looking a little closer than it was, but they put the smack down 48 points against
crazy.
Detroit. Detroit was one of the better defense.
Absolutely.
They ended up winning 48-42. That is the one fault of the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what's happened. They were one of the better defending teams, but the last 2 weeks, they've given up 86 points. That's 43 points a game.
You can't start doing that now.
And their offense has scored 90 points in the last 2 games.
Right. So it's almost even.
You should be 2-0 if you've scored 90 points in 2 games.
Should be.
But you're 1-1. But I still think they're the team to beat in the AFC right now. Kansas City, they beat Kansas City, so I think they're the team to beat. All right, going Jacksonville at the Raiders. This is the toilet bowl of the week.
This is the hot
garbage.
This is the hot garbage game.
Toilet bowl.
Man, toilet bowl game. I'm gonna go Jacksonville though.
I am too. Mac and cheese has been
doing his thing. I'm proud of that guy over there. Even though I wouldn't even put all of the blame on him. We just had some missing parts when he was over with New England. But it's good to see him back home, getting that confidence he needs, and playing well.
Mac and cheese. I'm gonna dare say it. They've looked almost better with Mac and cheese than they did with Trevor Lawrence. Touchdown Jesus.
That's crazy.
We'll see. Nothing against you. I know you're still over here recovering from.
Absolutely, that dirty ass hit.
If you did happen to trip upon our show, you wouldn't understand what we were saying anyway. You took a forearm shiver to the fucking chin into the ground.
Right, and then this man had the nerve to say, "Oh, well, I'm sorry for it," but it wasn't deliberate.
You didn't jump over him and your knee clipped him on the way by. You literally put your forearm in his chin and neck and shoved his head into the ground.
Yeah.
While going 100 miles an hour.
Yes.
Come on now. You didn't mean to hurt him. Brandon, I didn't mean to hit you.
But you did. So you should be like, I don't get it. Like, what are we talking about? We saw it. We were at home. We saw you do this, but okay.
So then we got my guys. San Fran's playing at Miami. And I'm going to go Miami. This is a must-win for us. We're at home. It's not going to be 12 degrees outside.
It's funny you say that because I can honestly see you guys winning just for the simple fact that the 49ers are struggling.
Well, McCaffrey's out.
Right. He's going to be out.
And I don't know what's going on.
What's up with Purdy, man?
Well, they've been scoring points. Their defense has just been allowing a lot because they've had a lot of injuries. And Deebo Samuel and guys have been in Kittle. They've been dropping wide open passes. They lead the NFL in drops right now.
That's crazy.
Like everyone talked about how Purdy had all this talent. Well, dang, they ain't doing that. They dropping everything. Now Kittle also is the #1 receiving tight end in the NFL this year. So, but it's because Deebo was out for a long time. Christian McCaffrey's out.
Yeah.
You can't take away, top tier, top 10 players, top 15 players in the whole league.
Yeah.
You take away 2 or 3 of them that's how it's going to be. What happened to Brandon Ayuk? He's injured too, I believe.
And I'm glad we didn't get him because the Patriots wanted him and then he got hurt. So all of this just to get hurt. So it goes to show you, man, football's one of those things, man. You can't put all your chips in a bag because people get hurt. This is a physical game. I don't care how good you are.
All day
people
long.
get hurt. So
unless you're Brett Favre.
Well,
he was different. He played with broken fingers on his throwing hand.
He did.
But you know what they used to do in those trainer rooms back in those days, boy. They shot you up all kinds of shit.
You'll feel like dirt tomorrow, but you can finish this game tonight.
Yeah, you're gonna finish this game.
You'll definitely finish the game.
Then you have the Sunday night game. Here we go. Ready to hear it. This will be the week where we finally have to stop. Tampa Bay at Dallas. Will you please stop hearing? Tampa Bay, can you please just put a dang dagger in the damn coffin so we can stop hearing? Well, we could still.
I like it. I like it
because you just waiting for that last week when their hopes and dreams are just crushed.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. You got people around my office that are Cowboy fans.
They still believe.
They got that twinkle in their eye like Santa, like Christmas morning. You guys are not gonna make it, okay? It's not happening.
It's the week of Christmas, and you getting coal under that tree.
Yes.
Baker Mayfield is going to tear y'all up and crush your hopes and dreams. Tampa Bay putting themselves farther in the lead in that division, beating the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas, they're gonna put you to sleep for the rest of the season.
You're gonna need a new coach. You won't get a new owner. That sucks. You need a new offensive coordinator.
The only way you're getting a new owner is if God decides so.
Yeah, and I don't wish death on nobody, but I know some of these fans do.
I know some of their fans do. I mean, I hate Jerry Jones. I think he's an egotistical jerk, but I never want to.
I never want to. No death on anyone. I mean, but I
could do a lot more good with all that money he got.
For the sake of just playing devil's advocate, I'm gonna go Cowboys because I just want to see it. I just want to see something happen. So, we them boys. We them boys.
We them boys.
Oh my God.
We them boys.
We them boys.
Yeah,
I love it.
I watch Cowboys games for one reason:
to see them lose. That's what a lot of people say.
No, it's not that either.
Oh, the
there you go. Yes,
there it is. Okay. Damn, I know I was close.
To lose is a good runner-up, but no, the cheerleaders out there, they got some pretty good cheerleaders.
They said everything is bigger in Texas, so that's what they say.
That's what they say. They say something else about Texas too. We'll leave that alone. Though.
Okay,
We're not trying to get canceled out here
at all.
Monday night game, New Orleans at Green Bay.
Go Green Bay.
Green Bay all day.
No question.
We had a Spencer Rattler sighting in New Orleans this past week. They came down the field and scored the touchdown to pull within 1 point of Washington. They went for 2 in the win. They didn't get it. But Spencer Rattler drove him down the field. So I don't know if you ever watched the show back in the day. It was on Netflix. It played all the way up until about COVID. QB1. It was the high school kids that were that year's big seniors that were getting ready to go off to college, and they would kind of go around, do a show, and follow them around. Some of the guys have been on there. Justin Fields was, they showed him. He was one of the guys that was on there.
Okay.
Spencer Rattler was one of the guys on there.
Okay.
Jake Fromm, the guy from Georgia, he was like a second or third string up in Buffalo. He was another one. And then there's one that's currently on the Washington practice squad. He played at Notre Dame last year. He was with Wake Forest the 4 years before that. I forget his name. I'm sorry. Shoot me. But but that was one of my favorite shows to watch, and it's funny because those were supposed to be the biggest guys in high school those years, and the only one that ever was a starting quarterback in the NFL was Justin Fields.
Right.
Like that just goes to show you those are the top ranked guys in all high school.
Right.
Guys, if you're not one of the top 5 in high school right now, it doesn't mean that you can't be in the NFL.
You can't be great, right?
Tom Brady wasn't even one of the top 5 quarterbacks taken out of college.
Go.
He was like the 7th or 8th quarterback taken in that year's draft.
Go.
So don't once again, as we always tell you, don't let anyone tell you can't do something.
You can do whatever you want.
Except for me, I'm too old.
Yeah.
I can't. I
got bad knees now.
Yeah, my knees hurt. My back hurts.
Yeah.
So that's the NFL stuff. Stay out there, stay warm, stay cold. If you're in Virginia Beach like we are,
60-some degrees today, almost 70.
70 degrees today. But hey, as always, if you're working overnight tonight, you're gonna need a t-shirt when you go in, and a winter jacket when you get out.
That's
because
right.
It's supposed to be thunderstorms, and tomorrow's high is a whopping 46 degrees, and it's gonna be at 6 a.m. And this weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, highs are like 34.
Yep, of course, when we're off.
So and then we'll get back into the 50s next week. But I think that's probably our last 70-degree day until March.
And I'm good with that. I mean, it's nice for spring to peek its head in a little early.
Yep. I literally said today it looked like it was going to be, but I can deal with 50s all day long. Yeah, I don't know, Saturday and Sunday I'm not leaving my house too much other than maybe to go watch a football game somewhere. So let me know where you're going.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Let me know where you're going. If you guys see us out there, please come over and say hi. Come over and join in.
We might even mess around and do a little a bonus segment somewhere. You never know.
Never know.
Because we could take these anywhere. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, and I know you guys like our voice by now.
Yeah, maybe we throw them up at a bar somewhere.
I mean,
maybe we just bust out the phone. We throw it up there. We throw a video up there. Where we're at. If you jump in on Sunday, you find out where we at. Everyone is always invited. We love having people come out. So we hope everyone enjoys their football, basketball weekend.
And absolutely.
If you're not into football, basketball, you just watch us because you're friends of the show.
That's cool too.
Watch and do whatever you want to do this weekend. Get out and enjoy some, but enjoy life because it's short.
And before I go, I want to just touch on something in sports that I've been seeing, and it's gatekeeping. If you don't know what gatekeeping is, go to Google, use your phone. They'll give you a lot of examples. And gatekeeping is something that can be used not only in sports, but in life, sometimes at work, anywhere, And what I'm saying about gatekeeping is sometimes there's going to be somebody that is better than you. They're going to be better than you, whether they're younger, older, the same age. What I don't understand is if you're working towards one goal, and that goal is to be maybe a great company, or maybe be a great football team, great basketball team. Hell, maybe even you want to be the best mechanic on the block. But you got the knowledge, and here's a young man or a young woman coming, and you see, oh man, this person, they're good. They have what it takes. But you gatekeep this information from them because you don't want to see them do better than you. I think you are one of those people. If this is you, I'm talking right to you. If this is you, you got to cut this shit out. We can never succeed holding information back from other people. If you want to see somebody be great, if you want to see something, keep that thing going of greatness, it's good to share information. It's good to tell somebody that's younger than you. Give them the ropes. Show that young man or that young woman something that they didn't know. Make them a better person off of it. Because at the end of the day, why are you gatekeeping something when there's one goal for us, and that's for us to all be great, especially if we're moving as a unit. If we're a team, and I have information for this man, I'm not going to withhold this information from him. I'm going to tell him so we can both be great and both shine and both move forward. So when it is my time to sit back and fade away, I know my man Jeremy got it. When it's time for me to retire, I know he's in good hands because I showed him everything that I knew and then some. And guess what? Now we're bouncing ideas off each other. So now he feels comfortable to come and talk to me. He feels comfortable. Hey, Brennan, have you seen this before? Can you tell me a bit about this? I'm going to, because not only is this person, they're believing in my abilities and my knowledge. They're coming to me because they know that I have something that could potentially make them better. And I'm going to do the same for them. And I hope they do the same for me. So stop gatekeeping these kids, especially the young kids coming up, because you feel like you're going to lose your job or, oh, they're going to work me out of this. Work harder.
Be better.
Be better. This is an opportunity for you to sharpen your sword and be better. Sometimes people get complacent in the things that they're in all aspects of life. And then here comes somebody off the street and they challenge you and they test you.
I love it.
And they make you a better person as well. So that's my little, I wouldn't even say a rant, but
I like it. It is, and that's fine. I love a good rant. Everyone that knows me well knows I can go on a rant with the best of them, and I like that one because every day, like I said, I work with a security company. I am the security director. I run the whole security team. And I have guys that are really good at what they do.
Yeah.
Phenomenal at what they do. And they're coming along, and they get promoted. We promote within. That's it. You come in, we bring you up, you move in with the group, and I ask them, I tell them, I want you to take my spot.
Yes.
I want you to do it because that means I can move on to the next
Absolutely.
spot. I can move on to something better.
Yes.
I can go ahead and get this. And then when I get really good at that, I want you to get really good at it too because then you can move on to that and I can find something new that we can do.
Say it again.
I love that. I think that I tell my players all the time when I'm coaching, you want competition.
Yeah.
Competition is what makes you great.
Yes.
Someone pushing you, someone making you better. And I can tell you in my daughter's softball team, my one captain I had, she was the starting shortstop the whole time. And on the last year, a young lady came from the team that was a year above us. She was actually playing up. She came down to our team because she still had one more year before she was going to college. I now had two phenomenal shortstops. The one was my captain, and she was a captain for a reason because she very easily could have been like, great, now I'm never going to play again. She stepped up. And she went step for step with this young lady who'd been playing up at the next level.
There you go.
And they shared time at shortstop. They both, bounce back and forth to different positions. And in the end, it works out better for them because they end up having to play different positions sometimes when they go off to college and everything.
Yep.
But she stepped up to it, and that's why she was named the captain. She wasn't my kid. She was a phenomenal player. Still talk to her today. She actually works for me now because of that same thing. She works hard. She does what she's supposed to. She's still playing college when during the year, and then she works for me during the summers. But she's a phenomenal example of that. She didn't get upset because so-and-so was coming on the team. She showed her how we do things with our team, how it was different with the other team. Not the other team did wrong, just we did things differently. How, we expected. And that's the kind of way you got to be. Like you said, in your job, you want the guy behind you to learn your job. And it's one of them things, I want to throw out a movie out there. I know I watch way too many movies, but it was called, I believe, Men of Honor with Mel Gibson.
Great movie.
Mel Gibson, and I remember him telling the guys, you need to learn the job of the guy above you, and you need to teach the job to the guy below you because people are going to die in war. And I'm not saying people are going to die here, but people are going to move on to something else. People may quit. People may get promoted.
Facts.
People may just decide that you're not coming, they may get fired. You never know. You have to know the job of the next thing. That brings me to the point of what I was making earlier about minimum wage. Guys, if you want more money, it's out there to take.
You got to get it.
Every job I've ever been in, I've worked my way up through. And I've found a way to get more money, get raises, get promotions, shown people I could do it. Worked the job with you most recently that we worked together, had zero experience. They started me with a lot of money. I deserved it. I didn't have any experience. They didn't know job. Was there for a few months. Showed them that I can do anything if you just give me the private. You obviously were one of the people that helped train me. We went through it. They did a phenomenal. They did a great job in giving me a good raise and everything. I obviously moved on from that to try something different because that's how I am. I like to try new things and go on different things. And the job I'm in now, I get to try all kinds of different things just based on in the one setting.
Right.
But I always want the person behind me to be doing that. I used to be the person that did the mobile patrols every night, and I was responsible for all the guards that were on that night, making sure they got there, making sure they didn't have any questions, answering the phone calls at night. I have other people that do that now, and they do a great job at it. And that's the whole thing, because now I can go on to doing different things, like going on into different parts, marketing, and different kinds of security that we haven't touched on in our business. And that's a perfect example. That's a perfect thing that you brought up right there. Stop trying to hold people back because you fear competition.
You fear you're going to lose your position. We have one
goal.
Better. We have one goal here, and that's to be a great company, right?
Great company.
That's to be a great team. That's to be a great this or a great that. So I love the challenge. I love when my company comes and says, my boss comes to me and pulls me aside and says, I want you to train him up because I don't want him to know nobody else can train like you. And I know if I get you, if you put your hands on something, so that's a compliment for me.
It is.
That's a compliment for me.
And at the end of the day, you're making the money you're making, and you're doing a good job. If that person, I had a person jump me one time at a job.
Yeah, me too.
Business. They've jumped over me. Good for them. I'm still making more money. I'm still getting, because I'm doing my job well.
Right.
I'm still getting raises. I'm still getting promotions.
Right.
And maybe someone passes me and gets a promotion ahead of me.
Cool.
And I've always been the person that believed, and I'm going to be dead honest. I was working in the car business, and he started a few months after me. We were both on the fast track to become managers, and it looked like it was going to be me, and he jumped me, and it was deservedly so. He beat me out in certain areas. I ended up getting a promotion right behind him like 4 months later because I didn't sulk about it.
No.
I didn't get whiny about it. And then I became the next one. And then I moved up to the next spot. And then I moved up to the next spot.
Right.
And I taught the guys that became behind me that were friends of mine to jump up to that next spot. That's what you got to do. That's the way the world works. If you hold your company down, they're going to end up going by you anyway.
Right.
If someone's that good and you're worried about them taking your job and you try to hold them back, they're going to go by you.
They're going to go by you
while you're worrying about them,
yeah, they're not.
They're going by you.
They're taking off. So
let me ask you something. If you're a sprinter and you look back over your shoulder, do you go faster or slow down?
Nah. Matter of fact, I'm not even looking behind.
No.
I got a goal, and that's that tape over there, and I got to get there before y'all.
Control yourself. Help everyone get better. And if the company gets bigger and makes more money, you're more than likely going to make more money if you're one of the ones that contributed to that.
And I guarantee you, they can take anything away from you. They can take your job away from you, but they can't take your information. They can't take what's up here. So you can always be a valuable asset. But it's how you handle yourself. It's how you do anything. So when you look at some of your favorite athletes and they lose the game, or they're the reason why the team lost, you know, they need their teammates to lift them up. I'm sure when they get to the locker room, it's, dude, you get them next time.
You have to.
You got it. Oh, you missed this one. But guess what? That next game, I guarantee you'll make it. And that's what we need. Not only as coworkers, but as people. Because things happen. But what I will never do is hold a man or a woman back because I fear that they're going to be better than me. I want you to. I want you to be better than me. Because that lets me know that I trained you and I'm doing a great job of training. I'm doing a great job of conveying information and you're picking it up. Perfect. They might my boss might see that and make a position just for me. We're going to pay you more just to train. We don't want you to do nothing else. We just want to train new people. When new people come in, we want you to take them under your wings and we're going to pay you for it.
And maybe instead of holding them back, because maybe instead of trying to make them worse, just make yourself better.
That's it.
Just make yourself better. That's all you got to do. Make yourself better at what you do. And then that way, like you said, you know, Derek Jeter, who, and I know, you know, you weren't a Yankee guy, but you said you had respect for the man and what he did.
Love him.
And he, on the field, he was always lifting his players up and whatever, but he also said he never wanted to sit down once he got the starting spot because he took someone's spot at one time.
There you go.
And he knows that if he lets down for just a little bit, this is a man that ended up being a first ballot Hall of Famer, all but one vote from being unanimous, being the second unanimous of all time.
He's probably a Boston fan.
Yeah, probably. There's no doubt in my mind. It had to be a Boston writer. Don't blame you. I get it. You're mad. It's upsetting. But I probably wouldn't have voted for Ortiz either, even though he 100% deserved it.
Right.
But, you know, he went ahead and said, like, I'm not missing any games because there's always someone there to take my position. And I'm going to show them why I need to be out there.
Right.
And so, you know, you can always push forward and always try to keep ahead, but that doesn't mean you got to hold someone else back.
Nah.
Because I promise you, Derek Jeter never said, oh, that guy, you shouldn't play him. He sucks. No, he probably tried to make that person better.
He's on the same team. We have one goal, and that's to win.
Make people around you better. It's that simple. In life, it doesn't even have to be in a job. Doesn't even have to be in a sport. Anywhere. Help a person lift up. You know, I know I was out at a wrestling tournament this past weekend. Had a couple young men that, you know, reacted, you know, in a way they probably shouldn't when they lost. You know, I have no problem. They came running over, and, you know, I had a couple parents over there. Not very good at consoling kids. Let me just tell you how bad that was. But, you know, I had a couple conversations with a couple times, you know, told them I watched the match, and I, you know, did a great job. Guys, these was middle school and younger. They weren't even high school age kids. They were 14 and younger. Your life is not decided at 13 years old. I know, you know, you trained a lot for that. You're upset. Don't throw your headgear. Don't stomp off. You never know who's watching.
Right.
Go out there, do the best you can, and if you know you gave everything you had and you trained as hard as you could, and that guy got the better of you that time,
that's it.
If y'all are the best in the country, like they say we were for this tournament, you're going to see him again.
Mm-hmm.
Show him next time. All right? Last year, Josh Allen beat Patrick Mahomes in the regular season. Do you think that man Patrick Mahomes was going to go down to a hole the next time he faced Josh Allen when they faced in the playoffs? Nope. They beat him. You think Patrick Mahomes is going, oh no, we can't beat Buffalo in the playoffs this year?
Nope.
No. They're right there for him. Guys, try to make yourself better. Try to make the people around you better. You know, parents out there and coaches out there, lift your young ones up.
It costs $0.
It costs $0 to lift them up. yes, you can be upset that your kid didn't live up to the potential you thought, but you don't have to tell them about it. You don't have to put them down, yell at them, lift them up, tell them, help them get better. That's all you got to do. Lift them up. Hey, I know you did the best you could. We'll work on what you got to do to get to the next spot. That's simple. And then you don't have to go any farther than that, man. I will tell you, I saw some parents yelling at their kids about losing. I heard, dude, Brandon, one of the most angry moments of my life that I had to bite my tongue because I was working. I was running security for the event.
Right.
I heard a mom tell her kid that he was a waste of her fucking time.
Wow.
And that she wasted all her time and money to come out there for him to suck.
That's crazy. That doesn't build him up. Trust me.
What the hell is that?
That's not good parenting.
That was a direct quote. That's exactly what she said.
I believe
curse words and everything.
I believe it.
And let me tell you, I have been around every sport you can think of. And if you're a wrestling parent, maybe you're different, but you got to talk to the rest of your parents. Wrestling parents are by far the worst I've ever seen.
Damn.
I've seen track, basketball, baseball, football, softball, tennis, volleyball. I've seen pretty much every sport there is. They are the worst when it comes to talking to their kids. They are the worst when it comes to any kind of being rude to anyone else, like any of the tournament people, screaming at referees, running onto the mat at referees. Can you imagine if a parent ran out of the stands in your football games, down onto the field?
They would be tackled immediately and arrested.
In baseball, I can't even fathom that. A parent coming out of the stands onto the field to yell at the umpire.
What are you doing?
That's
such an embarrassing moment for the kids.
This happens. I've done this event for 4 years now. I've had it happen at least twice every year.
That's a damn shame.
At least twice. Onto the mat to yell at the referee.
And the crazy part is they usually tell the kids that you have to conduct yourself, but it's the grown-ass people out here. It's the parents.
Wrestling is crazy. Hey, when you guys got finished with a football practice, did you just leave trash all over the field and the sidelines?
No, couldn't do that.
You had to clean yourself up, right? No, they leave all their trash underneath the chairs and everything and move on to the next match.
You can't do that. I mean, you should have respect for your school.
And this was at the sport that had 36 different mats that were going on, and they would just move on and leave all their trash underneath for everyone else to pick up. And that's the thing. The coaches let it be okay, the parents let it be okay, and then they wonder why the kids come off throwing stuff against the floor.
Right.
They let it be okay.
It's a product of
it starts with the parents. Yep. It starts with the coaches. You want to produce great athletes, but if they don't think that there is any, consequences to their actions, they're never going to get to that next level.
Well,
you have to hold them accountable, and that's my little Ranford thing. Hold your kids accountable. Ranks rated with yours. Don't hold people back. Lift them up. Hold people accountable.
Absolutely.
So that's our show for today. Appreciate y'all.
As always.
We had a lot more people viewing this past week. We hope to double that up, triple that up, quadruple
love
up.
it.
Let people know about us. Click the like button, hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
We getting a lot, the likes and stuff in there. Don't forget to subscribe so that way you get them notifications to when we put out the new episode.
Yes.
Everyone have a great week. We'll obviously be back next week.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
We'll have our, Christmas episode next week.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas to all y'all out there.
Be safe. Love somebody.
Be safe. All right. Thank you guys. Have a great one.
Peace.